Bottle up, bottle up. To suppress emotions. She bottled up her feelings and didn't tell anyone about her problems. After the argument, he bottled up his frustration and didn't speak to anyone. Clam up, clam up. To suddenly stop talking. She clammed up when I asked her about the accident. She always clams up when she's nervous. Bail out, bail out, to rescue someone or something from trouble, especially financially. The government bailed out the struggling company. He bailed his friend out of jail last night. Iron out, iron out, to resolve or smooth out problems or differences. They met to iron out the details of the contract. She called to iron out the differences before the meeting. Beef up, beef up. To improve or strengthen something. They beefed up security after the incident. The engineer suggested beefing up the bracket to support the heavier load. Break off, break off. To end something like a relationship or agreement. They broke off their engagement last week. The countries broke off diplomatic ties after the conflict. Bring about, bring about. To cause something to happen. His hard work and dedication helped bring about the success of the project. The discovery of new technology brought about a huge advancement in medical treatment. Brush off, brush off. To dismiss something or someone as unimportant. She brushed off the criticism and continued her work. When I asked about his plans, he brushed me off with a vague answer. Go after. Go after. To pursue or chase something. She decided to go after her dream job. The police went after the suspect immediately. Chase up, chase up. To remind someone about something they need to do. I need to chase up the contractor about the repairs. She chased up her team for updates on the project. Crack down, crack down. To take strict action against something. The government is cracking down on illegal activities. To protect the environment, authorities are cracking down on illegal logging. Add up, add up. To make sense or be logical. His explanation didn't add up. It seemed suspicious. The finance report added up at the end, showing no discrepancies. Cut out. Cut out. To stop doing or using something. You should cut out junk food if you want to lose weight. She decided to cut out distractions and focus on her studies. Drag on. Drag on. To continue for too long. The meeting dragged on for hours without any resolution. This cold weather is dragging on longer than usual. Fall apart. Fall apart. To break into pieces or become emotionally upset. The old book fell apart as I turned the pages. She fell apart after hearing the bad news. Fend off. Fend off. To defend yourself from something or someone. He managed to fend off tough questions during the interview. The security team worked hard to fend off intruders at the event. Fool around. Fool around. To waste time or behave playfully. Stop fooling around and focus on your homework. They spent the afternoon fooling around at the park. Gear up. Gear up. To prepare for something. We are gearing up for a big lunch next week. The team is gearing up for the final match. Hand over. Hand over. To give something to someone, often under pressure. He handed over the key. The criminal was forced to hand over the stolen money. Hinge on. Hinge on. To depend on something entirely. The success of the plan hinges on everyone's cooperation. Her future hinged on the results of the exam. Hit on. Hit on. To suggest or discover an idea or to flirt. She hit on a great idea during the meeting. The guy at the bar tried to hit on her. Hold on. Hold on. To wait or to hold something tightly. She held onto the rope tightly during the climb. Could you hold on for a moment while I check the schedule? Jam up. Jam up. To block or cause congestion. The traffic jammed up the whole highway. The copier jammed up because of too much paper. Keep off. Keep off. To avoid or prevent contact. Keep off the grass. It's just been watered. She wore a jacket to keep off the cold wind during her walk. Knock off. Knock off. To stop working or to reduce the price of something. They knocked off $20 from the original price. Let's knock off early today and enjoy the weekend. Laugh off. Laugh off. To dismiss something as not serious. He laughed off the rumors about him. She laughed off the mistake and continued her speech. Level with. Level with. To be honest or straightforward with someone. He leveled with his boss about needing more time. He leveled with his friends about his financial struggles. Look over. Look over. To quickly review something. Can you look over my essay before I submit it? She looked over the contract carefully before signing. Map out. Map out. To plan something in detail. They mapped out the entire road trip before leaving. I will map out the strategy for the new campaign. Mess up. Mess up. To make a mistake or ruin something. He messed up the presentation by forgetting his lines. She accidentally messed up the cake recipe by adding too much sugar. Pass on. Pass on. To decline something or give something to another person. He passed on his knowledge of carpentry to his apprentices. She passed on the offer for the house, since it was over her budget. Play along. Play along. To cooperate or pretend to agree. Even though she disagreed, she played along with the plan to avoid an argument. The detective decided to play along with the suspect's story to gather more clues. Pull through. Pull through. To recover from a difficult situation. She pulled through after a long illness. The company pulled through the financial crisis. Read up on. Read up on. To gather information by reading about something. I need to read up on the history of this topic. She read up on the company before her interview. Rule out. Rule out. To eliminate or exclude as a possibility. Her busy schedule ruled out any chance of taking a vacation this year. We ruled out staying at the hotel because it was too expensive. Set aside. Set aside. To save or reserve something for later use. She set aside some money for her vacation. Let's set aside our differences and focus on the project. Settle down. Settle down. To become calm or establish a stable lifestyle. He settled down after years of traveling. The kid finally settled down and went to sleep. Show off. Show off. To brag or display something to impress others. She loved to show off her painting skills whenever guests visit. Stop showing off and just do the work. Size up. Size up. To evaluate or assess something or someone. The boxer sized up his opponent before stepping into the ring. She took a moment to size up the situation before making her decision. Sleep in. Sleep in. To sleep later than usual. I love to sleep in on weekends. She slept in and missed her first class. Space out. Space out. To lose focus or daydream. I spaced out during the long lecture. She spaced out while driving and missed her exit. Stick to. Stick to. To continue doing something without changing. She always sticks to her budget to avoid overspending. She stuck to her diet and lost weight. Take after. Take after. To resemble a family member. She takes after her mother in looks and personality. She takes after her father in her love for music. Talk down. Talk down. To speak in a condescending manner. She felt insulted when he talked down to her. She hates it when people talk down to her just because she's younger. Threw up. Threw up. To vomit or create something hastily. He felt sick and threw up after eating bad food. We need to throw up some ideas for the project. Touch up. Touch up. To make small improvements. She touched up her makeup before the party. He touched up the painting to make it look better. Try out. Try out. To test something or audition for something. She tried out the new recipe and loved it. He's going to try out for the basketball team. Turn down. Turn down. To reject an offer or request. She turned down the job offer because it wasn't a good fit. I turned down his advice, feeling confident in my own plan. Use up. Use up. To consume all of something. The team used up their energy after playing 2 back-to-back matches. She used up her vacation days traveling around Europe. Walk away. Walk away. To leave a situation or avoid involvement. He walked away from the deal because it wasn't beneficial. She walked away from the argument to keep the peace. Workout. Workout. To exercise or solve a problem. They work out at the gym every morning. We need to work out the details of the agreement. Wrap up. Wrap up. To finish or conclude something. Let's wrap up the meeting and go to lunch. She wrapped up her presentation with a strong closing statement. Back down. Back down. To retreat or give up a stance or demand. He refused to back down during the argument. She eventually backed down and apologized. Carry on. Carry on. To continue doing something. Despite the delay, they carried on with the project. Carry on with your work while I answer the phone. Look after. Look after. To take care of someone or something. The nurse looks after her mother with great care and patience. Can you look after my plants while I'm on vacation? Stick up for. Stick up for. to defend or support someone. He always sticks up for his friends in tough times. She stuck up for her beliefs during the protest. Take in. Take in. To understand information or allow someone to stay with you. It took her a moment to take in what he said. They took in a stray cat during the winter. Set up. Set up. To arrange or establish something. She set up a meeting with the client. They set up a new office in the city center. Step out. Step out. To leave a place briefly. I will step out for a moment to take this call. She stepped out to grab a coffee during the break. Look down on. Look down on. To consider someone or something inferior. She looks down on people who don't agree with her. Don't look down on those who are still learning. Everyone starts somewhere. Turn into. Turn into. To transform into something else. The caterpillar turned into a butterfly. His hobby turned into a successful business. Hold on to. Hold on to. To keep or retain something. Hold on to your ticket. You will need it to re-enter. She held on to her old photos for sentimental reasons. Pull off. Pull off. To succeed in doing something difficult. They pulled off a last-minute victory. He pulled off an impressive magic trick. Back up. Back up. To support someone or create a backup of data. She backed up her claim with evidence. Always back up your files to avoid losing them. Call on. Call on. To ask someone to do something or to visit someone. The teacher called on her to answer the question. We will call on you next week to discuss the proposal. End up. End up. To eventually arrive at a certain state or place. They ended up being great friends after a rough start. She ended up taking a taxi because the bus was late. Blew over. Blew over. To fade away or pass without causing much harm. The scandal eventually blew over. Don't worry, this argument will blow over soon. Pass out. Pass out. To faint or distribute something. He was so overwhelmed by the news that he almost passed out in shock. He passed out flyers for the event downtown. Take on. Take on. To accept responsibility or challenge. She took on the role of team leader. He is taking on more projects than he can handle. Knock out. Knock out. To cause someone to become unconscious or defeat someone. The boxer knocked out his opponents in the first round. That strong coffee knocked out my sleepiness. Bring up. Bring up. To mention something or raise a child. He brought up the topic during the online meeting. They brought up their children with strong values. Come down to. Come down to. To be the most important thing. It all comes down to hard work and determination. Choosing the right car came down to fuel efficiency and safety features. Run into. Run into. To meet someone unexpectedly or encounter a problem. I ran into an old friend at the trade show. We ran into some issues during the project. Pay off. Pay off. To settle a debt or achieve a reward for effort. She finally paid off her student loans. All that hard work will pay off in the end. Shake off. Shake off. To get rid of something unwanted. She tried to shake off the bad feeling after the argument. He shook off the defenders and scored a goal. Fall for. Fall for. To be deceived or to fall in love with someone. He fell for a scam and lost money. She fell for him the moment they met. Bring in. Bring in. To attract or generate something. The new marketing strategy brought in more customers. She was brought in as a consultant for the project. Look up to, look up to admire or respect someone. Many people look up to her for her achievements. She looks up to her older sister. Fall behind, fall behind. To lag or fail to keep up. She fell behind in her studies after being sick. Don't fall behind in your payments, or you will incur fees. Get around to, get around to find time to do something. I will get around to cleaning the house this weekend. She finally got around to finishing her novel. Make do with. Make do with. To use what is available instead of what is ideal. We will have to make do with this old chair for now. Since we forgot the sugar, we will have to make do with honey for the recipe. Stand by. Stand by. To support or be ready to act. I will stand by you no matter what happens. The firefighters were standing by in case of an emergency. Drop in. Drop in. To visit someone unexpectedly. She dropped in to say hello on her way home. I dropped in at the cafe for a quick coffee before heading home. Get through. Get through. To complete or survive a difficult situation. He got through his exams with excellent grades. He found it hard to get through the long, cold winter. Cut in. Cut in. To interrupt or join suddenly. He cut in while I was speaking to share his opinion. A car suddenly cut in front of us on the highway. Break through. Break through. To overcome an obstacle or barrier. The scientists broke through and made a significant discovery. The sun broke through the clouds after the storm. Hold out. Hold out. To last or survive in a difficult situation. The supplies will hold out until the end of the month. The old van held out surprisingly well during the long road trip. Run off. Run off. To leave quickly or to produce copies. The thief ran off before anyone could catch him. Could you run off some extra copies of the report? Come across. Come across. To find something by chance or to make an impression. I came across an old photo album while cleaning. She comes across as very confident in interviews. Break into. Break into. To enter a place illegally or start something suddenly. Someone broke into their house last night. She broke into laughter during the meeting. Come up with. Come up with. To think of an idea or solution. He came up with a brilliant plan to save the company. She came up with the perfect name for the new product. Turn off. Turn off. To stop a machine or make someone lose interest. Don't forget to turn off the lights when you leave. His rude behavior turned her off completely. Run out. Run out. To use up all of something. We ran out of milk, so I need to go to the store. Her patience ran out after waiting for an hour. Sort out. Sort out. To organize or resolve a problem. He sorted out the issue with his internet provider. He needs to sort out his schedule before committing to any new project. Blew up. Blew up. To explode or become very angry. The fireworks blew up in the sky, creating a beautiful display. She blew up at him for forgetting their anniversary. Keep out. Keep out. To prevent someone from entering. The sign says, keep out, private property. She always keeps out of office gossip to avoid unnecessary drama. Go for. Go for. To attempt or choose something. I'm going for the job interview next week. She decided to go for the red dress instead of the blue one. Take over. Take over. To assume control or responsibility. He took over the family business after his father retired. The manager asked her to take over the project temporarily. Break down. Break down. To stop working or become emotionally upset. Her car broke down on the way to the airport. She broke down in tears after the news. Drop out, drop out. To quit a course or activity. She dropped out of college to start her own business. She dropped out of the competition after injuring her knee. Let down, let down. To disappoint someone. I don't want to let down my team by not giving my best effort. She felt let down when her friend cancelled their plans. Get by, get by. To manage or survive despite difficulties. They are finding it hard to get by on a single income. He managed to get by with his limited English skills. Catch on, catch on. To understand or become popular. It took her a while to catch on to the joke. It took me a while to catch on to how the new software works. Call out, call out. To shout or criticize someone publicly. He called out for help after getting stuck. The employees called out the manager for unfair treatment. Give in, give in. To surrender or yield to pressure. She refused to give in to their demands. He tried to resist temptation, but eventually gave in and ate the chocolate cake. Look forward to. Look forward to. To eagerly anticipate something. I'm looking forward to my vacation next month. I look forward to watching the season finale of my favorite show. Come down with. Come down with. To become sick with an illness. She came down with a cold after the trip. She's worried she might come down with the flu. Stand out. Stand out. To be noticeable or different from others. Her bright dress made her stand out at the party. Her performance stood out as the best in the competition. Put off. Put off. To postpone or delay something. Don't put off your homework until the last minute. I can't put off cleaning my room any longer. It's a mess. Look back on. Look back on. To reflect on or remember something from the past. She looked back on her career and felt proud of her achievements. She often looks back on her childhood with fondness. Take up, take up. To start a new activity or hobby. He took up painting after retiring. She's thinking of taking up yoga to stay fit. Give up on. Give up on. To lose hope or stop trying. He gave up on fixing the old car and decided to buy a new one. Don't give up on your dreams, no matter how hard it gets. Step in. Step in. To intervene or take action to help. The teacher stepped in to resolve the fight between students. The government had to step in to provide financial aid. Go over. Go over. To review or examine something. Let's go over the details of the contract before signing it. She went over her notes before the final exam. Cut off. Cut off. To interrupt or stop something. They were cut off from the outside world after the heavy snowfall blocked the roads. The farmer cut off the damaged branches to save the tree. Fall through. Fall through. To fail or not happen as planned. The travel plans fell through due to bad weather. The business deal fell through at the last minute. Go down. Go down. To decrease or be remembered in history. The price of gas is finally going down. This day will go down as one of the most important in history. Put up with. Put up with. To tolerate or endure something unpleasant. She can't put up with his bad behavior anymore. They had to put up with the noise from the construction site. Look out for. Look out for. To watch or take care of someone or something. Make sure to look out for sales when shopping for groceries. The guide asked the tourists to look out for rare birds during the safari. Make up for. Make up for. To compensate for something. He brought flowers to make up for forgetting her birthday. She worked overtime to make up for the days she missed. Bring out. Bring out. To highlight or emphasize something. The dress really brings out the color of her eyes. The documentary brought out important social issues. Tear down, tear down, to demolish or destroy something. The old building was torn down to make way for a park. They are tearing down the stadium to build a new one. Play down, play down, to minimize the importance of something. They tried to play down her role in the project. He played down his injuries, saying it was just a minor fall. Walk out, walk out. To leave suddenly, often in protests. The workers walked out during the strike. The audience began to walk out when the performance ran late. Zone out, zone out. To lose focus or stop paying attention. I zoned out during the long lecture. She always zones out when she's tired. Go off, go off. To explode, make noise, or spoil. The bomb went off with a loud bang. The milk went off because it wasn't refrigerated. Stay out, stay out. To remain outside or avoid involvement. The doctor advised her to stay out of the sun to avoid sunburn. They decided to stay out late and enjoy the summer night. Phase out, phase out. To gradually stop using something. The company plans to phase out single-use plastics. They are phasing out the old software by the end of the year. Take back, take back. To return something or retract a statement. I need to take back the books I borrowed from the library. He apologized and took back what he said earlier. Burn out, burn out. To become exhausted or stop functioning due to overwork. He burned out after working non-stop for months. This light bulb burned out and needs to be replaced. Come forward, come forward. To offer help or information. Witnesses came forward to testify in the trial. She came forward with a solution to the problem. Get across, get across. To communicate or make something understood. He struggled to get his point across during the debate. She used visuals to get her ideas across more effectively. Stand down. Stand down. To withdraw or resign from a position or task. The candidate decided to stand down from the election. The guards were ordered to stand down after the situation was resolved. Let off. Let off. To release or excuse someone. The police let him off with a warning. He was let off the hook for the mistake since it wasn't entirely his fault. Step down. Step down. To resign or leave a position. The CEO decided to step down after 10 years in charge. He stepped down from his role as team captain. Stick with. Stick with. To continue doing something or stay close to someone. I will stick with this brand because it works well for me. She stuck with her friend during the difficult times. Bring over. Bring over. To bring someone or something to another place. Can you bring over some snacks for the party? She brought over her dog to meet her friends. Through together. Through together. To assemble or create something quickly. She threw together a quick dinner for the guests. She threw together a presentation in just 30 minutes. Miss out on. Miss out on. To lose an opportunity or fail to experience something. Don't miss out on the flight tickets. They are selling fast. She felt like she missed out on a lot while working abroad. Cut down on. Cut down on. To reduce the amount of something. I'm trying to cut down on sugar to stay healthy. They decided to cut down on unnecessary expenses.